First, I'm going to say congratulations. Congratulations on the
Thank
title
you.
win. It's a big honor for you. Talk to me about I know you've done some interviews and said, it's like a full circle moment in some ways, but now that you've had like a few days or, to reflect on it, what do you see for yourself as being champion?
I take so much honor and pride in this title because I try to live my life like a champion every single day. They only see 10% of what's in front of them, whether it be on TV or a podcast or something like that, but they don't really know the hard work that it takes behind the camera, what it takes when you're training, eating right, trying to maintain, your image, aesthetically, being in the ring, trying to improve your craft. It takes a lot of work. And I knew I could do it. I was very capable of doing this when I was in WWE and NXT. I just was never felt as though I was given the proper opportunity or chance. I was always trying to crawl and grab it and make my way to the top, and I just felt like I kept falling short, and maybe they just didn't believe in me, and that's okay. But I went to a company that took a chance on me, that I took a chance on myself, because going into TNA, I told them I want to do this, I want to do that, I can do this, and I can do that. And they're like, okay, let's do it. And I did it, and I am so proud of that TNA locker room. I haven't seen the girls yet, but I am so proud of them. And I've said this before, because each and every one of them has a part in this title and why I was able to capture it. They helped build the Ash by Elegance, whether it be Rosemary from the little altercations in the matches we had, because, I brought holy water to the ring, I brought garlic cloves, just to tell that story of Ash by Elegance and having weapons, to being in the ring with Zaya Brookside and having such a long, long feud with her, trying to get her over while also, working and developing my heelish character. Masha Slamovich, being in the ring with her. Jordan Grace really helped pivot the way for me and bring out a side of me that I never knew I had in me. I knew I had it in me. I just needed somebody to bring it out of me, and she definitely did. So I just feel so validated all around, and I didn't need to prove it to anyone besides myself, and I feel very satisfied.
So I want to go back. I'm pretty sure I was at your TV debut in NXT. I know.
Yeah, blue pants.
Yes. So it wasn't your first match, but it was your first TV match. And I remember thinking, like, you have a great look, you have a great theme song, the charisma's there. I was like, thinking like you're going to be the next Beth Phoenix. And you kind of alluded to it, like you didn't really get the opportunities that you're getting right now. So it didn't work out the way you thought, but did you approach, like, how did you approach your TNA debut differently? Like, did you see, like, okay, this is a chance to, like, redo what happened the first time, or did you look at it as, like, just a completely different situation and it wasn't more like a redo, it was just like another opportunity?
No, that's an awesome question. I kind of felt like I needed a restart, a refresh, because when I first started in WWE and NXT, I had no idea about wrestling. It was just all of what WWE taught me, and that's awesome. They taught me so much while I was with the company. When I was released almost 2 years to the day, I was very blinded. I didn't know that there was a world outside of WWE. I didn't know there was all these indie promotions. I didn't know that there was these Comic Cons and these conventions and these signings. I had no foot in the door to these other promotions, AEW, TNA, Japan. I didn't have those type of connections if I were to be in the business prior to WWE. So with that being said, I was released and I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. Maybe I'm just not good. I believe in myself, but maybe others, see so much talent in so many other places that maybe I just don't have it. Um, And then I was just like, you know what? No, I've never quit at anything in my life, and I'm not gonna quit here. What I have to do is totally wipe out what anyone's ever thought of Dana Brooke and start over. Start with this character that is so self-centered, so into herself. I mean, yes, Ash, me in real life, I love fashion, I love nice things, but I am so far from who Ash by Elegance really is, that is so self-centered, so into herself, will do anything to, get what it takes. Um, so that is so far from who I truly am, that I just knew that I wanted to come on, into TNA and do something completely different. Also, with that being said, Dana Brooke always walked a fine line, super straight. I was always, very nervous, with, performing my best, doing my best, reading exactly what the script said, doing exactly what, was asked of me, which is great. That's how I am in real life. Going into TNA, I just wanted to have fun. I wanted to go out there and make people just invest in and digest my character if they've never watched wrestling before, and just know that the moment I go through those curtains, they don't like me.
Mhm.
And I'm having so much fun. Like, TNA has just been a breath of fresh air. It's not a redo, like it was a restart. It was like I needed to just, in my soul, fall in love with wrestling again, and I have 2 years now. It's just been so amazing. It's the craziest story, I must say. I couldn't make it up in my wildest dreams.
Speaking of surprises, regarding your release, Shawn Michaels said your release also caught him by surprise.
Yes.
Did he share any words of encouragement after your title
Yeah.
win?
Yes, actually the week prior to my title victory, we had the sixth woman, and he told me, he goes, "See, I'm gonna get emotional. I haven't said this." He looked at me, I was sitting, and he goes, "See, I told you it wouldn't be long until you're back." And it meant everything. I was like, man, you were right, because he was just always so supportive. And then he gave me such a, well, he told me before I went out there, because I was nervous,
Mhm.
at Heat Wave. I have, my husband told me, he was there, and he's like, Ash, you've been on the biggest stages of them all. You've been at WrestleMania, you've been on SummerSlams, Royal Rumbles around the world, doing what you're about to do. Nothing is different. You're just going to bring something home that you know is going to be yours and should have been yours. Nothing is different. I'm like, yeah, but, like, this is my moment. I know I made a promise to Carlos that I'm going to bring this title home, and I know I can bring it home. Like, there's just so many emotions, and I was so nervous. And Shawn looks at me and he's like, "You ready to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." He goes, "Relax." And he gives me a hug. He goes, "Just smile." He's like, "Soak it in." And I was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "All right." So when I came back, he gave me a hug, and I was like, "Hey, can I have my Shawn Michaels picture, like with the point and stuff?" So it was just such a full circle moment. To me, Shawn Michaels is one of the best in the, if not the best in the entire world, with his selling, with his moves. Everybody looks up to him. My personal concierge was starstruck, when he had met Shawn. And those words from Shawn, just, I'll never forget them ever. And then Matt Bloom, who sits next to Shawn in the gorilla position. I started, and Matt Bloom started a little bit after me at the performance center. So he's seen my journey. He sees my highs and lows. He's always believed in me and been an advocate of mine. And when I was released from WWE, he had asked me, please don't stop here. He's like, if you need somebody to be in your corner to speak on your behalf, I will do it. But do not stop here. And going back and winning this, I was just like, wow, this is unreal, and just such a full circle moment. And I never burn bridges. I mean, I've never done that in my life, because it's just not, I could say so many things, but it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's not going to change their minds.
Mhm. I watched another one of your interviews with Joey Carney from The Angle earlier,
Yeah.
and he showed a clip of your answer about why you don't talk trash or why you don't burn bridges. So everybody should go. I'm not going to ask you about that, but everybody should go watch that because I think you did a great job at answering that about why you don't do that. I think it's very useful insight, no matter where you are in your life or no matter what your profession is. Just, I think you did a great answer. But
Thank you.
you mentioned your concierge just now. The Elegance brand, aside from the concierge, is a knockouts team. Uh, is that restricted to knockouts? Can you maybe see
No.
yourself doing an elegant male one day?
That's definitely something what George and I talk about all the time. And we're always like, looking at, now that this partnership is so strong with NXT, it's like, who could I, recruit?
Mhm.
But there's a lengthy, checklist that everyone has to check off. I absolutely love makeovers. As you know, I made over M and I made over Heather. I did also help George, my personal concierge, kind of like groom up.
Mhm.
So I love a good makeover. So, like, if I see potential, if I see in ring potential, if I see that, I can kind of mold you, you just have to be open to the idea.
Mhm.
I definitely would love a male part of the Elegance brand.
All right. Who has some potential on whether it's NXT or TNA?
Ooh.
Give me a couple
Well,
names.
okay. So I've said this, Frankie, but because he's the king of TNA.
Okay.
But the thing with Frankie is I don't think he would listen. He likes to do things his way. Robert Stone definitely has a look. And he has the thing that, he will go and get whatever he has to do and he'll get it done. I could definitely transform him. I need now maybe you can help me with this. I need somebody, it might sound bad, a little submissive that I can work with and tell them what to do and they'll do it. So do you have any suggestions? I would have said Casey, but
Yeah,
Casey,
he's out.
yeah, out right now. Um
I'm trying to so I'm thinking of like
Nick
in,
Nemeth, I think would be,
maybe
yeah, I think Nick Nemeth would be a bit submissive and I could train, we have the blonde hair going on. He's not shy to dye it and put a little bit of pink in it.
you have the Ohio
Um,
connection too.
yep, exactly. So maybe a little bit of Nick Nemeth. He has a long, lengthy list of accolades. I know he's fit for the part in ring, but
Mhm.
do any NXT superstars pop out in your head?
Ooh, I thought you had a good one in Robert Stone. Like I know he's not a regular competitor, but he has t history in TNA. He has some regular appearances in NXT. I feel like he would be a good guy for like crossover appeal.
I think so too. I think that would be great. Oh, we could, do some test runs. We could have a tryout.
You need
I
a
think
you need a
that's great.
competition or a tryout. There you go.
I've never thought about that before, and now you're bringing ideas. A
You're
good tryout for a male elegance member.
you're the champ. You can call the
They
shots
could do
now.
like model walks. I think that would be great for TV.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So I think I don't know. I think it would be successful. We'll do like a multi-week thing. It's been a while since Wrestle House was on TNA and that was pretty fun. So I think
I
adding
think
another one of those type of segments would be pretty fun.
I think that is it speaks for itself. The story writes within itself.
There you
You get
go.
to be a part of the team that holds all the women's gold. Now he has to go and capture the men's gold, and then we would be the house of gold.
I There you go. It keeps getting better the longer we talk
I,
about it.
I know.
So TNA Impact Live this Thursday
Yes.
in Minneapolis and Friday taping. Any other appearances? Anything you want to plug or promote before we close this out?
I'm really excited for Bound for Glory. That's definitely going to be one of if not the biggest event of the year. They always say SummerSlam is huge. Well, Bound for Glory is going to be record breaking, especially now that we're in the elegance era. Everyone wants to come out and see what I have to say. I have a huge target on my back, so I'm super excited. It keeps getting more full circle because it's where I captured the TNA Knockouts championship. It was in Lowell, Massachusetts. Now Bound for Glory is back there. So I just want to go and show face and step in the ring, and whoever wants to, step foot in there with me, I'm ready to go.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't think I made the connection until just now, until you mentioned it.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty
it's
awesome.
kind of another full circle moment if you think about it.
It is, most definitely.
All
I have
right.
to thank all of the elegant people in that city for helping me capture this. Even if they were haters, haters were my motivators there. They helped me get this.
All right. Well, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
And, in Lowell, I look forward to seeing what you do with the title. And I appreciate the time and, I love some of the answers, especially as far as, the advice from Shawn and just uh how you're carrying yourself through this next chapter of your career.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me on.